has faced those sorts of circumstances and times, we have never turned to a simplistic, self-involved gas bag of a candidate.
The United States of America is going through a great reckoning on a number of the facets of what it means to be an American. In the past, there were Republicans that I never questioned that their sincerity or their belief in the American system. And I think with the administration the way it's been, I think I'm not sure the man has took his oath seriously to preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution.
Here's something you didn't see coming. Tom Hanks said just one word, and suddenly Trump was spiraling. But why did that single moment land so hard? Was it a calculated move, or did Hanks just casually drop something so sharp that it rattled Trump to his core? Whatever the case, it set off a chain reaction.
Sincerity or their belief in the American system. And I think with the administration the way it's been, I think I'm not sure the man has took his oath seriously to preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the United States.
And trust me, this gets crazier than you'd expect. Buckle up, because this might be the most unexpected twist since Forrest Gump took off running. The country is at a crossroads, a moment that defines what being American actually means. I've known Republican leaders who, despite political differences, truly stood for something bigger than themselves. But with this administration, I just don't see it.
Because the Democrats gave it to him with their behavior.
Donald Trump last night did what he wanted to do. Number one, he got on the record that his accomplishments in the first 6 weeks were fairly extraordinary, which is true, both good and bad. And number two, he taunted the Democratic Party into making a myriad of mistakes.
I don't believe the man in charge ever truly respected his oath to defend the Constitution. Before we break it all down, make sure to like and subscribe so you don't miss a thing. Because this is about to get wild. Trump, the man who prides himself on being untouchable, he's completely unraveling. And all it took was a single word. No fiery speech, no late-night joke at his expense. Just one simple, deliberate word from Tom Hanks. And suddenly...
like that. A wife who is fantastic in every way, who has taught me what love is. 5 kids who are braver and stronger and wiser than their old man is.
Weak and pathetic is a guy like that. Mama, funny. That guy. I go on a show.
Trump is pacing Mar-a-Lago, ranting like he's gearing up for a fight with his own reflection. As a man, I find this unacceptable. Not as a father, not as a husband, just as a man. That kind of behavior has no place anywhere. No excuses. This isn't just about a celebrity voicing an opinion. It's about who said it. Tom Hanks isn't a media figure Trump can dismiss with a mocking nickname. He's America's dad, the man who made people cry over a volleyball, the guy who turned a box of chocolates into an entire philosophy, the one who could walk into any small-town diner and be offered coffee on the house just for being him. Hanks has spent decades earning the public's respect, avoiding scandal and keeping his words measured.
We've ended the tyranny of so-called diversity, equity, and inclusion policies all across the entire federal government and indeed the private sector and our military. And our country will be woke no longer.
So when he speaks, people listen. And this time, his words hit like a heavyweight punch. At first, Trump does his usual routine, acting like it doesn't faze him, pretending he's too important to care. But let's be real. If it truly didn't bother him, he wouldn't be rage posting online like a teenager having a meltdown. Within moments, the floodgates open. Rambling attacks, wild accusations, typo-filled rants, and of course, a random jab at Hollywood. And just like clockwork, he throws in the classic, "I never liked him anyway" line. Trump sticks to his usual strategy. First, bragging about his so-called achievements, real or exaggerated, then stirring up chaos. But this time, it's not about a political opponent or a media outlet. His latest feud? Tom Hanks. Here's the kicker. Yes, the same Tom Hanks whose movies, Forrest Gump and Saving Private Ryan, are probably still on repeat in Trump's private theater. Yet now, Trump's acting like Hanks was never that big of a deal. Then comes the inevitable rewrite of history. Suddenly, Hanks was never a major star. Maybe Trump will claim Big flopped at the box office. Maybe he'll dismiss Castaway as nothing more than a glorified reality show. Who knows? In a twist nobody saw coming, he might even insist that he deserved Hanks' Oscars. Because let's be real, Trump thinks every award should have his name on it. But here's the beauty of it. Hanks doesn't even have to say another word. No need to respond. No need to defend himself. No need to engage at all. This isn't a debate. It's a solo meltdown. The most universally beloved actor in America speaks once, and Trump reacts like someone just banned ketchup on steak. And of course, the internet does what it does best. Within hours, Twitter, or whatever platform Trump is rage posting on now, explodes. Memes flood timelines, AI-generated videos spread like wildfire, and parody debates between Trump and Wilson, the volleyball take over. That one word gets analyzed like it's the lost key to unlocking political shade. Meanwhile, Trump, who thrives on controversy, has once again walked straight into a disaster of his own making. All because Tom Hanks casually dropped a remark. It's almost poetic. A man who demands attention just got completely thrown off balance by someone who wasn't even trying. Nobody throws a fit quite like Trump. One moment, he's boasting about being unshakable. The next, boom, one word. A tiny dent in his ego, and suddenly he's spiraling like a cheap red tie caught in a wind tunnel. The self-proclaimed toughest, smartest, most unbreakable man, completely unraveled by a single syllable. Most people would brush off a comment from Tom Hanks, but Trump? The moment it reaches him, it's like someone just handed him a book and told him to read it. First, confusion. Then, outrage. And finally, the full-scale internet spectacle. And, like clockwork, the same cycle repeats. He scrambles to rewrite the moment, pretending it never happened. Or better yet, insisting that somehow he actually won. Which brings us to Trump's definition of winning. I never said I was perfect, but in his world, winning isn't about being right. It's about being loud. It's about throwing the most insults, creating the biggest distractions, and stirring up just enough chaos that people forget what they were even talking about in the first place. That's his signature move. And right on cue, his next step? All-out attack mode. Meanwhile, Hanks was off living his best life, probably enjoying a quiet morning, flipping through a book, sipping his coffee, or doing literally anything other than thinking about Trump. And that's what made it even funnier. While Trump was flailing like a fish dumped onto the deck of a yacht, Hanks remained completely unbothered. No rebuttal, no clapback. Just pure, effortless indifference. And that, right there, is what really eats away at Trump. Not insults, not heated back and forths, but silence. The cold realization that his tantrum doesn't even register, that he's shouting into the void, and the void isn't even glancing his way. For a man who thrives on attention, that's the worst kind of defeat. Because no matter how many typo-ridden rants he unleashes, no matter how many wild conspiracy theories he throws out, no matter how much noise he makes, Tom Hanks will still be Tom Hanks. And Trump? He'll just be another guy screaming into the ether, desperate for someone, anyone, to still be listening.